Hey everyone, this is PanaramaDan, the OMAD Nomad, and I'm coming to you today with another video. Our goal with this channel is to bring information related to intermittent fasting and the RV lifestyle, particularly for us. Carmen and I do OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, and we do that most of the time. Of course, there are exceptions to that, but normally we eat only 1 meal a day. And so today Carmen and I, in our travels, find ourselves in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and today we went to the Hot Springs National Park located in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and just wanted to talk a little bit about that experience and how it might relate to fasting and the OMAD lifestyle. So if you know anything about the hot springs, there's a particular geological phenomena here where the water spends a great deal of time going down into the rock, thousands of years, and as it comes up in a hurry. It remains heated, and it produces these springs where the water comes out at a little more than 140 degrees. And for well over 100 years now, this area in Arkansas has been well known for its bathhouses. And in the first 100 years, into the first half of the last century, in the 1900s, these bathhouses super popular as places of healing, and they really promoted them for all kinds of healing. They could heal anything and everything, from minor sprains to cancer, from communicable diseases to venereal diseases. I mean, you name it. There were people that claimed that the hot springs would cure it all. And then with understanding of medicine, that kind of waned, and so the hot springs have, of course, fallen out of favor for that kind of fanatical belief that they cure everything. But there's some interesting things about the hot springs, some interesting takeaways that I think are relevant to fasting. And the one thing I wanted to kind of touch on as a negative takeaway is that the same kind of can be true with the internet and fasting. There are people out there that claim that intermittent fasting or OMAD fasting or any type of fasting can get your body to the point where it can cure anything and everything. And so there should be a great deal of skepticism that we all have when we come up with people who claim that anything and everything, if you just apply fasting to it, that your body can miraculously heal itself and you can find health in ways that you never did before. So there should be some skepticism that we find in there. But there's also two really positive takeaways as I've thought about this experience here at Hot Springs. And that is that there is some scientific evidence now. Science is kind of catching up as they study our health and they learn and they gain new understanding, that there is some really powerful things that happen when people do both hot and cold treatments. It does unleash some things in our body that do produce some healing. Now, I'm not saying that can cure syphilis like they claimed in the past, or it can cure cancer, but I am saying that for health, saunas and this idea of doing hot treatments, we know that it does a great deal for inflammation, and hot and cold can help with strained muscles and things like that. But it also can release can release proteins in our body that fight off negative diseases in our body. So the point I want to make in that is that while we do need to be skeptical, science is always evolving, and we think we know what we know, and then we find out that there are other things. And fasting is the same. Fasting was used years and years ago, 100 years ago, and it was very popular. And it kind of fell out of vogue as medicine became the end all. We just needed new and different medicines to cure us from everything. But now, through some scientific research, through studies that are being done, we're finding out that fasting, and especially with the lifestyles we live now, with all the refined sugars and the refined food, does have some really powerful healing properties for our body. It allows us, our body to, and I've always been really hesitant to use the term detoxify, but there is a term called autophagy. And autophagy is the process by which your body clears out old proteins and allows new to be take its place. And so there is this idea that it, while not taking toxins out of our body, it is helping us to renew ourselves. And so fasting is known to allow that process to happen, because for autophagy to happen, our insulin has to be reduced. And one of the easiest ways to reduce insulin in our body is to not take in any kind of food whatsoever. There is kind of a misconception that it's carbohydrates and it's sugars that cause insulin spikes, but anything we eat will actually cause insulin to rise in our body. So fasting in that respect does reduce our insulin and allows this autophagy to happen. And so and there are other things that fasting is being found to bring health benefits. So I guess that takeaway, that while the hot waters, the hot baths, the cold and hot together don't actually maybe cure cancer, it does aid in our bodies being able to regenerate itself and renew itself and to bring healing. And fasting does the same thing in different ways. The second takeaway is there were charlatans in hot springs that claimed the springs cured everything. But if you go to the bathhouses and you learn the history, there was a lot of emphasis on eating well. There was a lot of emphasis on exercises. Almost everyone had a gym. They had rooms for massages. The city of Hot Springs has a grand promenade for exercise and lots of trails to walk in and get exercise. There's a great deal of emphasis put on just rest, renewal. And the takeaway there is, for me, that we can't just say that fasting is going to take care of all our health benefits. We have to adopt a lifestyle and a mindset that looks for other ways for us to help in our health. You know, exercise is an important part of becoming and staying healthy. Stretching, yoga, meditation, those things are all positive ways to reinforce a healthy lifestyle in ourselves and to get not just the benefit of fasting, but multiply that benefit of fasting. So that was my second takeaway as I looked at that. It wasn't just the charlatans claiming, oh, this is a magic bullet, but it was this idea that you have to develop a holistic kind of idea of doing things in small things. You don't have to make huge changes, but make small changes to bring health to your life. You know, don't set a goal to run a marathon. Set a goal to walk around the block after dinner. Things like that can make a huge difference. And so as we travel, we come across different things. It helps us to kind of look at our journey and see if there's ways that we can maximize our health. In our retirement years, we want to be able to do lots of fun things. We want to have the health that only comes from having a holistic kind of approach, not just one thing, not just eating well or not just exercise, but living a life that kind of encompasses all those things. Making small changes can make a big difference. Well, if you found any of this information helpful, I appreciate you hitting that like button, and consider subscribing to PanaramaDan, the OMAD Nomad. We're going to bring more content as we travel across the United States, talking about different ways in our journey as nomads traveling in our RV, how we're incorporating the OMAD lifestyle, intermittent fasting, to bring health and vitality to ourselves so that we can continue to live the life that that we want to. And that doesn't mean you have to travel. It may mean just you mowing the lawn or playing with the grandkids or whatever it means to you. So hit that like button, subscribe, and it's just like I always say, look behind me. It's a great big beautiful world out there. Now go out there and enjoy it.